All right, y'all. This is Keeping It 9000, episode 155. On this episode, we touched base on a couple of things. We talked about Boruto and some controversy that it recently sparked. We talked about JJK in the latest chapter release. Is Gojo racist? Also, we matched some of our favorite rappers with our favorite anime characters. It's interesting because there's a lot more parallels than you would think there would be. And lastly, we played a game of top 10. Akil had to guess some top 10 characters from a list. He didn't do a good job, so he got the punishment that we all get.
He cheated.
I cheated a little bit, not gonna lie. I do deserve it. You know what? You got it. Okay. My man didn't hesitate. I don't have a second. Episode 155 starting now.
It's over 9,000!
What is up, y'all? What is good? You know the vibes. It is Keeping It 9000. Otaku with my
Brotaku.
Shonen with my
Bronin.
Anime conversations from a
YCPOV.
Let's get it. Yo, if you watch this podcast and you're familiar with, the co-host of the show, the creator of the name J. Quell, he is actually out right now. He is in Japan living every weeb's dream currently. He's out in Japan with his shorty, enjoying the vibes. I am very jealous of him, but the pod goes on, so we must continue. Yeah, this is good though. This is good because we got Akil on the second chair. He and I are going to talk about anime. If you're not familiar with Akil, he is our third mic, and he's our editor. So all the clips that y'all comment on and that you love and enjoy, it is Akil making it. And if you got any shade for anybody, then it is Akil that you should be giving it to.
It will be my fault. It absolutely will be my fault. I've been here before, but not as a second mic. So we'll see how this goes.
But this is going to be a good-ass time. We got some fun topics to talk about with y'all, and it's going to be great. It's going to be fire. All right, first thing we're going to talk about, Boruto has sparked some controversy.
Usually does.
Yeah, usually it's the controversy that it sparks is because the anime isn't, up to par.
Yeah.
It's not Naruto. It's not Naruto Shippuden. People big up the manga. I'm sure the manga is great, but from what we've seen in the anime so far, it's a lot of just, tell them what it is.
Ass.
Mid.
My fault. I went too far.
Nah, that's a fact. But the interesting thing is sparked controversy because we don't want to get too into it because of spoilers, but one of the main characters, I'm sure you can guess who. Is thought to be now a part of the LGBTQ community, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, everybody always thought some things about this character, like, yo, there's something.
There's some signs there. There's some signs there.
Yeah.
There's some signs there.
A bunch of signs. Like, hey, you're my son, I think he said to, not son, like, yo, you my son, fam. Like,
yo, did I ask my son, bro? Nah, it wasn't like that.
Nah, it's like, you're my sun and my moon type
and
shit.
I'm your stars. That type of, which is, I fuck with. That's very poetic.
It's cool. My thoughts are, it's interesting, it's cool, it's different, it's cool to see like anime / manga, living in the future, living in the present, better yet, where these things exist, these things are okay, and we're bringing it into the art. What are your thoughts on it?
I think that anime, at least in the West, is in a good space to accept it. Yeah. I think the audience, a lot of people that are fans of anime are LGBTQ. Mm-hmm. So I think we're in a perfect space for this type of thing. Yeah. I think in the East, I'm not too sure how they'll respond. Yeah. I think that generally in anime spheres, like the creators, the watchers are pretty receptive to that type of thing. But as you know, like Japan as a country is pretty conservative. So largely, like, probably won't go so well if it were to like bubble up in the news, like the mainstream there probably wouldn't happen so well. But like you have characters like Orochimaru that already exist, characters like Frieza that already exist, that they aren't LGBTQ.
They might be, but they give you
that vibe.
Yeah.
I don't know this for fact, but I'm sure I might have seen this. People talk about it like this way. They resonate with some characters in that way. So I think the environment is there. It's definitely growing, but definitely onwards to the future. It's no big deal. And there are going to be some shows I guess Jujutsu Kaisen in the manga, there are some characters that are openly LGBTQ, so it's only gonna be more like this in the future.
Yeah, and it makes sense, and it's good to see characters that aren't problems and LGBTQ.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why all the fucking characters that are bad or evil and bad gotta be LGBTQ or black? No.
It's like, yeah, this character may be gay, but also they the villain.
Yeah,
like that makes people associate certain things in their brain with just people in these communities in general if they've never met these people from these communities.
Exactly. So it's good to get more of the pro tags and that vibe. Yeah.
It's like, remember when back in the day where every black anime character looked like Bob Marley?
Yeah.
Like in Tenjo Tenge, there was literally a black anime character who had dreads and his name was Bob. Like, it's like kind of the same type deal where they're just like, all right, these people feel this way about a certain group of people, so they're gonna portray them in a certain way.
Yeah.
But like to have them be like, a part of the community, but also diverse, I think is a positive.
Yeah, it shows that they're working against their biases just to show them as normal people, because they are, at the end of the day, normal people.
Or maybe the artist is at a point where they don't even have that bias
Exactly.
anymore,
Exactly.
which is even better.
Yeah.
Nah, that's dope. So, yo, you Boruto fans, maybe you have something positive that came out of your your favorite medium.
For once.
Your favorite piece of art, because, as far as the anime goes, it's not doing it. You could talk about the manga. I haven't read the manga yet, so I'm not gonna trash the manga. But the anime, bro, if it's 2024 and I'm still seeing spoilers, and not spoilers. I'm still seeing filler.
It's raps.
It's not for me.
2030. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Nah, that's a fact. Yeah. New things. Another new thing that came up in anime news. Yeah, apparently Gojo might be racist.
Yeah, this was a topic on Twitter. I'm a big JJK person, and my feud is all Jujutsu Kaisen.
Facts.
I won't get into spoilers, but essentially, Gojo was painted as racist in the manga. Mm-hmm. Again, won't go too much into it, but
painted as racist again.
Again.
The first time.
Again, which is interesting because you have an actual racist character in the show or in the brand, but I don't know. Obviously, I don't think Gojo is actually racist, but it kind of depicts like the reality of Eastern Asian cultures sometimes. Even if they know, like, we're in 2024, even if they know that we're all humans, like, there are some, just because there are so few black people in those countries, people's minds run wild.
There's ignorance.
Like, exactly. There's ignorance, and with ignorance, you just think so many things that might be true that obviously won't be true if someone just told you.
Yeah.
But a lot of time that doesn't happen. So
yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, because we read the manga chapter, and we're definitely not going to spoil it for anybody. We're not going to get too far into it. But essentially what happened was that you're looking at a character who has very little interaction with another character or characters of that person's race.
Yeah.
And so the character makes assumptions.
Yeah.
And the assumptions are wrong. And honestly, I give props to Gege for doing this, because he shone it in a light where it wasn't the character going, yo, this thing exists, and then every other character going, I guess it's what it is.
Exactly.
It's the character saying that, and then another character shutting him down and being like, actually, nah, that's not the case.
Exactly.
What's the real case is this.
Exactly.
And then the character was like, oh, I was wrong. My bad.
Exactly.
Like, he even apologized afterwards. It's like, it was a nice educational moment, which you don't really see in anime.
Exactly. Much. It wasn't a situation like Geto calling somebody a monkey.
Yeah.
It was, like you said, an educational learning moment for the people that do read Jujutsu Kaisen. Not in the West, obviously, but in the East, they can see that this type of scenario is something that probably shouldn't happen.
Word. Yeah, but let us know what y'all think. Do you think Gojo is actually racist? Have you read the manga chapter? Or did you see Gojo beat Miguel's ass in JJK Zero? Do you think he's racist? Do you think he's just, misinformed about certain things? Let us know.
I do.
I got a question for you. I have a demand. I have a demand for you, fam.
All right.
Right now, what I want you to do is match the rap big three with the anime big three.
the rap big three with the anime big three.
Yes, sir.
And by the rap big three, you mean J. Cole, Drake, and Big Sean.
Okay. I ain't gonna ask you again.
J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick.
Yes, sir.
And Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna try to be objective. J. Cole has to be Bleach because for the longest time it was slept on. But in the last couple years, with the 1,000 Year Blood War and just J. Cole rapping out of his mind, they've shown that they are more than being slept on.
Okay, that's acceptable.
All right. One Piece is Kendrick.
Okay.
One Piece is Kendrick.
Uh-huh.
And obviously Naruto is Drake.
Why?
And the reason why I say this is because I think even if the numbers might not say it now, I think generally in the cultural zeitgeist for a long time, people really... The anime that people talked about was Naruto.
Yeah.
Like Naruto, out of those three, people...
Especially in the States.
Exactly. People cared about Naruto. And in terms of that type of popularity, Drake, I would say, is equivalent as the guy that represents hip hop, is the face of hip hop. In the big three, I would say Naruto is the face of the big three. And then One Piece, if you really love anime, if you really about anime quality, One Piece is probably the best out of those three. It hurts me to say that, but One Piece is probably the best.
Yeah.
Lyrical ability, the writing, all that, I would say.
Storytelling,
world building, I would say. And Kendrick obviously is arguably the best rapper out of that bunch. So I would have to say Drake, Naruto, One Piece, Kendrick, and then Bleach, J. Cole.
Honestly, I think that's acceptable. But let us know what y'all think. Who is your rap match to the anime big three? Good answer.
Thank you.
Good answer.
As long as I get shot, I'm happy.
Good answer. Nah, when you said Big Sean, bro, I was so mad I missed. I was trying to get you in the face, man. But speaking about anime and rap, I want to keep that conversation going a little bit.
Okay.
So when it comes to anime, we have a lot of characters that kind of, for me at least, they remind me of rappers.
Yeah.
In some ways. Like, I feel like if you really try to, which we're about to do, you can match some rappers with some anime characters.
Yeah.
And so going off a list that Akil and I created, we're just going to jump into which of our favorite anime characters or least favorite anime characters in some ways match some rappers that exist currently. Yeah. So first we're going to just kick it off with the big one, bro.
Yeah.
Orochimaru. Bro, nobody can tell me that Orochimaru is not Diddy.
That boy a freak.
Orochimaru is Diddy, bro. Yo, think about it. An abuse of power.
Yeah.
Abuse of power. This man was kidnapping... Arguably, both of them were kidnapping people and just making them do stuff that they did not want to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what the difference between a freak off and a curse mark is, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. Yo, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Same dude, if you really ask me. Kinky moves from both of them.
Super kinky.
Orochimaru throwing that scroll. Diddy, just the craziest things that he said. Yo, I like the way you do that, daddy. Shit like that.
Yeah.
You're like, what you say? I like to see you squirm, daddy.
Yeah.
Shit. Bro, like.
It's a lot of that.
Bro, Diddy, these are the things that he says.
Yes.
Like, you can literally YouTube Diddy's most sus moments, and you're going to be like, oh, Diddy did everything that they said that he
absolutely.
did.
Everything. Absolutely.
Bro. And also, bro, they both went for everyone, bro.
Yeah, no one was off the list.
No one was safe. Orochimaru, Sasuke, Anko, Kabuto.
Yeah.
The list goes on. The amount of people with curse marks on them from Orochimaru. Diddy, you got Cassie, apparently Meek Mill, apparently Usher. the list is ever going.
That list is crazy already.
Son.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Both questionable. Both nobody really knows what the deal with their parents were.
Yeah.
Apparently, Diddy's parents were like big drug kingpins.
Yeah.
Orochimaru's parents created him, so they must have been mega weirdos. It's interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
If we're talking freaks, there's no bigger match than Orochimaru and Diddy. Mm-hmm. You already said it all. That's just very nasty behavior on Orochimaru's part with the kids, women, men, doing all that stuff in the labs.
Yeah,
I'm
experiments.
sure experiments. I'm sure Diddy was in them sex dungeons experimenting, bro. I'm pretty sure he's in them dungeons experimenting.
Bruh,
So-
it's a problem. Like, when you really look into it, Orochimaru and Diddy are the same
Yeah.
dude, bro. You're just missing the white makeup, which he had when he had the Joker costume on, bro. If that wig was black, he'd be Orochimaru.
I will say, hopefully, a Naruto does not let Diddy get off.
Yeah.
If it actually happened. So
Nah, that's a fact. And speaking about Naruto, the fact that anybody's letting Orochimaru cook, like, is insane to me. This man committed all those crimes.
you're complicit, Naruto.
Yeah, nah, y'all gotta figure something out, bro. You gotta figure something out. Well, who you want to go with on the list next?
I'm gonna go Frieza.
Talk about it.
Frieza and Kanye are basically the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. They hate those people.
We don't even have to say who those people are. Frieza
Exactly.
has mentioned his people. Kanye has mentioned his people.
Exactly. Frieza has, I don't even know how many forms. When you look at Kanye, every phase of his career, you got the Yeezus era, you got the
808s and Heartbreak.
808s and Heartbreak, College Dropout. You got the fucking the Donda era. You got the Father Stretch My. What was that?
Life of Pablo.
Life of Pablo era. Just there's so many phases of each of those people. And they're all great.
Yeah.
They're all amazing. Every form of Frieza is some of the best stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Black Frieza is tough. Golden Frieza is tough. Second form Frieza is amazing. Third form, all great. And then, not four. I forgot the last one.
You're good. They always come back.
And they always come back. It does not matter what happens to Frieza. He could die in space. He's gonna come back. He could die again after coming back. He'll come back. He'll be in the other world. He'll get wished back. It doesn't matter when and why he dies. There will always be a reason for him to come back, and
Same
he'll
with Kanye.
be the strongest. Kanye can get canceled as many times as he wants. He could go on a rant today, and by next week he gonna be back
He got hit
more
by a
music.
car. He came back.
Exactly. Exactly. Through the Wire? Through the Wire is basically Mecha Frieza. Come on. Come on. What are we saying?
Yeah, that's a major fact. That's a major fact. Like, Kanye and Frieza, there's definitely a bunch of similarities with them. Both, like, pretty flamboyant at times too.
Yeah.
Like, it's interesting. Frieza and Kanye, what do y'all think about that? Do you feel like Frieza and Kanye are even match, or would you match Frieza with another rapper? Because I honestly cannot name another one. I can't. And also, they both like top 10 haters ever.
Top 10
elite haters, bro.
Elite level haters. Ain't not always making it about them too. Like, you might think Frieza hating on one person, might hate on another person, and then there might be a side to pick,
Facts.
but he gonna hate on both those people, regardless. So,
Nah, major facts. Next, we're gonna keep it in Dragon Ball. We're going Goku, fam.
talk about it.
When it comes to Goku, if I absolutely had to compare Goku with a rapper, I'm going Jay-Z. Both cemented. They're both goated. Some of the top in their game went in their respective industries. Goku with anime, Jay-Z with rap. 100%. They're both over there. Also, they both did it all. Any anime trope that you can think about, Goku has done. Any rap thing that you can think about, Jay-Z has done. Anime tropes. You got the tournament arcs. You got the time skips. You got the dying and coming back. Goku did it. Rap. Jay-Z sold all the drugs.
Yeah.
Jay-Z became a mogul.
Yeah.
Jay-Z has produced multiple things outside of rap. Like,
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, they both like have within their respective fields have done everything that a person can do, like, to become the biggest.
Yeah.
They're there. And also, when it comes down to both of them, bro, they both had their day, they both had their run, but we really not trying to consume what they bring in anymore.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Nah, I feel you, yeah.
I'm not trying to hear the second version of the Carters, and I don't need Dragon Ball Daima. I'm sorry. We're
feel
good.
that. That's fair. That's fair. I agree with you. I think I like to think of Jay-Z as the all-time GOAT.
Yeah.
Out of every era of hip hop, he's all-time GOAT. Obviously, Goku is some of the most cemented anime characters of all time. There's basically nothing left for them each to do except become God.
Yeah.
Jay-Z become the God MC,
Yeah.
and then Goku become a god literally in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, no, it's like what else is there? Because they've hit all the accomplishments. Like, Goku's Super Saiyan God form, or better yet, his Ultra Instinct form, is like Jay-Z becoming a billionaire.
Literally. Yeah.
They both did it.
I agree.
They both did it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah. What else is there to do at this point?
Just
they probably gonna do some shit. They probably gonna do something.
Yeah,
but
they gonna do something. Or we gonna want to see it? Not
probably
really.
Not. No.
But they gonna do it anyways because they got it. Who else is next?
I think I'm gonna go Yuji.
Talk about it.
Yuji is basically the Juice World of the Jujutsu Kaisen universe.
How so? Let them know.
And this is gonna get a little dark. First of all, they're the new kids on the block. Mm-hmm. Obviously, both super talented prodigies, basically. Mm-hmm. They ate something and then died. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure. Like, the parallels are simple, but I think they're there.
Yeah, no, definitely both. Like, when they both came onto the scene, it was like, boom, they're moving.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it didn't take Juice WRLD much time to really become top of the charts.
Yeah, skyrocketed just like the Jujutsu Kaisen property, the anime,
Facts.
the manga. Yeah.
Facts. Jujutsu Kaisen the manga has only been out for 6 years. The anime is only 2 seasons in.
Yeah.
And it's already hitting like the top of the anime charts.
Yeah.
Already. Same thing with Juice WRLD.
Yeah.
You mentioned kind of like them both battling demons. Yuji, it's literal demons.
Yeah.
Juice WRLD, it was mental demons. At the same time, still both battling demons with all of the talent that they had.
Yeah. And
then obviously they both had like a lot of tragedies in their life. Yuji passed.
Yeah.
Fortunately enough for him, he's in an anime.
Yeah.
Unfortunately enough for Juice WRLD, R.I.P., he is not in an anime.
Thanks. Rest in peace, Juice WRLD.
Rest in peace. But the comparison between Juice WRLD and Yuji definitely exists, and to act like it doesn't, it's like, yo,
it's there.
It's there.
It's
also,
there.
Both dyed hair. Like when you really look at
colored hair. Yeah.
Son, like think about it. It's there. And the last one we're gonna touch off on is Marco, bro. Think about it. If I had to tell you, I need you to match a rapper with Marco, who are you going? Who are you matching with Marco?
The baddest in the game, Megan Thee Stallion.
Meg the Stallion, bro. Both tall, strong, confident.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, bro, what female rapper got more like confident bars than Meg the Stallion?
There aren't any that come to mind.
Yeah, maybe the only ones I could think of is like they still rap. They rapping about stuff that they could be confident about. Yeah. But Meg is rapping about whatever the fuck she wants to rap about. You feel me?
I agree.
Yeah, it's on that part. Also, they both are just like, when you talk about strong, I mean like physically strong and like mentally strong too, because they both been through some stuff.
They've been through a lot. Meg went through her little situation where she dealt with her foot injury. Mirko went through her situation where she went through her foot injury. Yo, this content writes itself. Like, they are both the same person. And Meg did the Mirko cosplay. She did do that.
And Meg did the Mirko cosplay.
Very beautiful cosplay, by the way.
Son, what else is there? Like, what can you argue against?
Can't.
If you're going to match Mirko with another female rapper, who could it be? It's not Cardi B. It ain't Ice Spice.
No.
Bruh.
No. Yeah.
Shout out to them, but they ain't strong enough.
Love them.
Ain't strong enough.
Is the Stallion for a reason.
Facts.
I know Mirko's a bunny. But she really a stallion.
She a stallion, bro. You seen those legs?
Come on,
those ain't bunny legs.
Come on,
she ain't bunny hopping. She's a stallion, baby. Shout out to Shrek. Nah, but when you really think about it, I just found it interesting, especially with what's going on in rap and hip hop nowadays too, and what's going on with anime.
Yeah,
I was just like, there's so many parallels that can be drawn, but people aren't really doing it.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to it, y'all, tell us, who are your anime characters that you would compare to rappers that exist in the world? Because for ours, we're just going to list them off to you again real quick. We're going to bounce back and forth from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. I'll kick it off. Orochimaru is Diddy.
Goku is Jay-Z.
Frieza and Kanye are exactly the same person. You can't tell me less.
Yuji is the Juice WRLD of Jujutsu Kaisen.
And Mirko is one of the baddest. You know the facts. It is Meg the Stallion. Come on, son.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're moving a little fast, so we're going to slow it down a little bit.
Bet.
Yeah. So last week, we can just get into conversation and then get into it. Actually, earlier this week, we posted a clip. And the clip was saying that we're in the golden age of anime.
Yeah.
And there's some people who disagreed with it. There were some people who agreed with it. And it was nice to get the conversation going.
Yeah.
Because When we said we're in the golden anime, the examples that we used was mainly with animation and storytelling.
Yeah.
And people had arguments about that. Nobody could argue with the animation because the technology is there right now. You can't argue with the technology. But when people are arguing with storytelling, it was interesting to me because their arguments with storytelling was based off of preference. It wasn't based off of facts. There's no real like objective way you can say this story is objectively better than this story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could talk about awards won and whatnot, but really like
that's ultimately opinion based.
It's all subjective.
Yeah.
It's all subjective. And so what I wanted to do in this conversation a little bit was talk about how we are literally in the golden age of anime right now and get into the points of objective reasons why we're in the golden age of anime.
Yeah.
Some of these points may be a little subjective, but overall, I think this is objective.
Yeah.
When it comes down to golden age, the simplest way that it can be defined is peak.
Yeah.
When it comes down to the golden age of art, it was like the Renaissance when art was at the peak, when it was getting the most movement. When it comes down to like, even if you want to talk about hip hop, we're currently not in the golden age of hip hop. And it's hip hop is like probably has the most people listening to it ever.
Yeah.
When it comes to Billboard and everything, there's very few like top 1 hip hop songs happening now. Like we're not in the golden age of hip hop anymore. The golden age of hip hop was probably like maybe I don't know between 5 and 10 years ago.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So currently we are in the golden age of anime, and one of the reasons why is reception. More than ever, you have more people watching anime. And a big reason why is because it's accessible.
Yeah.
But the accessibility factor isn't like something that you could use as an argument against it. It's only an argument for it.
Yeah.
Being able to have more people watch anime makes more people watch more anime. And the reason why more people are watching anime is because it is good.
Yeah.
And people are more comfortable seeing it. And also, it's accessible. On top of that, cultural impact, bro. Anime right now has had its biggest cultural impacts compared to anime in the past. We want to talk about the big 3 and what it did, but it was big because it was big for its time. If the big 3 was doing what it did back then, now it would have just been another one of the top animes, but it wouldn't be like a major moment. Because what the big 3 did was big for anime as a whole, but for the most part, it was just big for the big 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when it comes down to it, the big 3 didn't really boost manga sales for all anime. It boosted manga sales for the big 3.
Yeah.
I feel like right now, people are getting into anime and looking into branches of other anime. People are finding Jujutsu Kaisen and going, okay, then I need to go back and watch other animes like the big 3 because of Jujutsu Kaisen. It's different. It's different. And also, when you're looking at it, the cultural impacts, bro, anime is big in music. The amount of hip hop references you've heard that relate to anime. Meg Thee Stallion has made multiple. Lil Uzi has made multiple. Who else? You could throw rappers out there for days, bro. I think what's that singing nigga's name?
Four Bats, Brent Fayez, Chris Brown.
All of them, bro. When it comes down to it, all of them. Also, fashion.
Yeah.
Those Astro Boy boots.
Yeah.
That's anime. That's cultural.
Literally, yeah.
Literally a cultural impact. The amount of people wearing those ugly ass boots.
That's hate. It was just tough. It was tough.
Yeah, I just tossed a little hate there for no reason. But no, the amount of people wearing those boots was literally... Those boots exist because Astro Boy exists.
Yeah.
Anime. But then also that kind of argues against my point because it's back in the day. But we're talking about anime now. And lastly, when it comes down to it, bro, anime movies and anime films have been doing better now than they've ever done.
Yeah.
The fact that, like, you had Miyazaki and the movies that he's made back then, but back then, there's always been anime films. Dragon Ball Z has always had films. Rurouni Kenshin had films. I think even, like, Yu Yu Hakusho had a couple of anime movies. Those movies weren't coming out in theaters.
Yeah.
Now, in this age, these movies are coming out in theaters and doing box office numbers.
Yeah.
Globally.
Yeah.
We didn't have that back then.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to take the numbers of all of those versus now versus back then, it's just different. We stand out. And lastly, we got to talk about the metrics. When everybody talks about the big 3, they talk about the manga sales that they've had. You're talking about the manga sales that they've had to date. The big 3 has been out for how many years? the numbers keep going up. And yes, they did amazing things. There is no shade that I am tossing against our GOATs because I believe that the big three are amazing and they did really good things.
They're the reason why we're here.
They're literally the reason why we're here. Us being in the golden age of anime doesn't discount anything that they did. If anything, what they did was help bring us into the golden age of anime.
Yeah.
And that's the goal, isn't it? Like, if you're creating something, your goal isn't for it to be the biggest and best when you're the one doing it. It's for it to be the biggest and best as it progresses.
Exactly.
And so hopefully, honestly, I'm hoping the golden age continues. I'm hoping the golden age moves along. I'm hoping that we are able to like keep pushing forward and forward and forward, where somebody can look at this video that I'm making now 15 years from now and go, actually, we weren't in the golden age of anime. Now we're in the golden age of anime.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said. Even the Astro Boy point with the boots, I don't think it goes against your argument. I think it just stands to bolster your argument because ultimately it's about growing the genre, growing the sport, growing whatever the thing that you're talking about. I think the issue here is people get too attached to the term golden age and thinking that there can only be one golden age. I think that by definition, you can have like a dark age and then a golden age, and you can kind of oscillate in between the two. You have an on and then you have an off. I think for a long time, or not even for a long time, anime has been constantly growing, and right now it's at its peak. Obviously, the 90s of anime was probably some of the most iconic, some of the stuff that we remember the most. Part of that, like J. Cole talked about last week, is colored in nostalgia. We listed a bunch of reasons why today anime is so much better off for numerous different reasons. I think I agree with you, reception-wise, there's just so many people that can watch it. And they have the choice to choose what they want to watch. Yeah. If you want to watch the stuff that is that came from the 90s, you have the option to go choose the stuff that came in the 90s. But you also have the option to watch the stuff that is coming out today. Yeah. And I think that's a huge part of thinking about a golden age, because the golden age is really about information and like success. You are not a successful country if you've lost the things that have come before you. If you don't have access to your library and all the books that you wrote in the past, then really, are you really a successful country? You probably won't be. So the fact that we do have access to the stuff in the 90s, I think you can't take that away from the fact that it's successful today. I think you have to group it together. Some people might argue with that. Some people might think that you have to look at it by every 10 years, whatever number, and only exclude the things that came out in that decade or whatever. I don't think that's fair, because these things exist today. Yeah. And in the future, when 10, 20 years from now, all the stuff that came out today, all the stuff that came out 10 years ago are going to be accessible in the next 20 years. And if they keep on making great stuff, assuming they don't fall off, I would continue to say that that's a golden age as well, because they're building on the foundation left behind by previous generations. And really, you want to extend that golden age, or make as many as possible.
Yeah, it's like because overall, if golden age means peak, and the way I'm looking at it, if golden age means peak, and in the 90s, you had these many people consuming this content and willing to like pay money in however many different ways to get the content, versus what is here now. So 1990, 2024, the only way you can consume anime is if you're watching it on TV, buying DVDs, or if you're going to a theater to see a Studio Ghibli movie.
Yeah.
Now, you can stream anime, you can still watch it on TV, you can still buy DVDs and Blu-ray, you can allegedly get it as well, and you have the options of so many other things. There's anime cons that you can go to that are selling out. Anime NYC, we've been to it multiple times. Each time it's growing bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
DreamCon.
Yeah.
We gonna see some of y'all there this summer. It's going to be crazy. It's selling out amazingly. I think there's Boston Anime. There's so many different cons that you consume anime at. If you had these cons back then, you wouldn't get the same number of people that are at the cons now, just because there weren't that many anime fans back then.
Yeah.
And a big reason why we're in the golden age of anime is because you have the number of people gravitating towards it.
Yeah.
You can't be in a golden age if nobody's consuming the product.
I
That
agree.
doesn't exist.
I think also tying it back to some of the news that we talked about earlier today is like, who are the fans? Like before, like stereotypically, obviously, women have always been watching like anime and some of the things that men have been watching for a long time when we were young.
Yeah.
But it was majorly men that are consuming these things, at least in the West. In my experiences, a lot of it was at least represented as being black men. Today, now you have especially black women going crazy in the anime space. You have LGBTQ people representing a huge amount in the anime space in the West. Now you just see so many more types of people showing that their love for anime, their appreciation for anime, and the fact that they're paying attention to anime.
Right.
That didn't exist in the same capacity as it exists now, and that's also just proof of a peak. I want to make a metaphor. Imagine that you were exploring the Himalayas. You went on one mountain. You just were going mountain by mountain.
Yeah.
You went to one mountain. This is the tallest mountain you've ever seen.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's Mount Everest.
No.
You're gonna keep continuing to explore. You're gonna find mountains that are taller than that past peak that you found. You might find some mountains that are lower peaks, but then at some point you'll always find a mountain that is bigger than the last one until you find that
Tallest mountain,
Mount Everest.
Yeah.
In anime, if we're talking about this property, there's no actual finite peak. It is going to continue to grow as long as people are watching it, as long as there are people alive on this planet.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we saw the responses, a lot of it was based off of people's opinions, and it's like we're not talking about your favorite anime. Was people are saying like this anime was the golden age, or this moment was the golden age because my favorite anime came out back then. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yeah,
it's like what is the populace doing?
Yeah,
if it's like I don't know. It's almost like if with your metaphor, if people were climbing these mountains. And then they were like, "These are the only mountains we know of."
Yeah.
Then that's the peak for then. But then all of a sudden you had like some solo leveling thing pop up where somebody walked through a portal and was like, "Whoa, this mountain's like twice the size of this." That's the new peak.
That's the new peak. Regardless of how you feel it out, you might love your mountain.
That'd be your favorite mountain.
That's not the peak anymore. Come on. I don't know, man. I think in my opinion, I really love the stuff from the 90s.
Yeah.
Just even the animation, I just like that 2D animation.
My favorite anime ever.
So coming from me, it's not a subjective. I'm trying to look at it objectively.
Yeah.
And as much as I love the stuff from the 90s, the 80s, stuff that I was too young to watch at the time, you just can't tie yourself too much to the nostalgia, the stuff of the past, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's still accessible, and that only goes to bolster the fact that today we are in a golden era.
And also, why would you not want the golden age of anime to be like the time that you're currently living in? You know what I mean?
Like, why would you like?
You just want to focus on the past?
30 years ago, man, I don't give about 30 years ago. I want this to be the golden era.
I'm sorry, Rurouni Kenshin's over. Dragon Ball is over. Yu Yu Hakusho, I love my favorite anime ever. It is over. Let's let the new one shine. That's the only point J. Cole and I were making, and Akil as well.
Yeah.
Let the new era shine.
At least give them the chance to prove it. I think they've been making a good argument so far.
Facts. And people are like, Demon Slayer is in good story, yada, yada, yada. And saying that like these are objective things. It's not objective if you're saying it's not a good story. Well, apparently 150 million people think it's a great story because that's the amount of manga chapters it sold. And it's been out for less time than a lot of these other anime.
At some point, you gotta accept consensus as something valuable. Like, things are mainstream for a reason. Things are popular for a reason. It doesn't mean the quality is necessarily the best. We can't sit here and say the quality of Demon Slayer story or JJK story or whatever story is bad. They're not bad. So if you're saying at least it's a 7, but also it's this popular, I think that's fair to say. And that
there's a reason why that many people are gravitating towards it.
Yep.
But I feel like we've bled to this to death. If you feel differently, it's what it is. We get it. The reason why we have this podcast isn't so we can just spit our opinions at people and have people accept it. It's literally so we can have this conversation. If you feel differently, talk to us about it. You know where to find us. We are at Keeping It 9000 everywhere. Keeping It 9000 on Instagram, Keeping It 9000 on YouTube, on TikTok. You can find us at Keeping It 9000. I'm just doing this now because I forgot to do it earlier.
Yeah.
Find us at Keeping It 9000. Also join the Discord, bro. We have these types of conversations in there all the time. And it's just fun to have for us. Like, if you like talking about anime, if you like these discussions, then talk with us about it. We don't need to be 100% right. We are not doing video essays. We are sharing our anime opinions. Shout out to those who do those video essays because they're fire, but that's not our lane. And we're not trying to be in that lane.
And I'm 10 toes down on everything I said. So what's up?
Feel me? Oh, and we got that thing on us. Don't play with me.
Facts.
All right, yo. Speaking about that thing, I got a different thing on me right now.
Oh my God.
But we ain't gonna pull that out yet. Pause.
Wait, whoa.
No Diddy.
No facts, no Diddy.
No Diddy. Yo, so Ranker.com. There's a lot of lists on Ranker.com. And one of the lists that is on it currently is the best old school anime from 1999 and before. Since we're talking about golden ages of anime and like the top animes of whichever generation, I wanted to fall back and give the GOATs their shine because we do love the GOATs. So what I need from you, Akil, is on your cell phone, I want you to list the top best on your phone. I want you to list the best top 10 old school anime from 1999 and before.
So before the 2000s, basically.
Exactly. Okay. List a top 10 anime from before the 2000s.
Would Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z be separate? Or would it
depends
be...
on what year they came out. Damn, that's interesting. I don't want to give you that answer.
Can I consider it separate?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I'm going to give Akil about a minute to write down his thoughts on what the top 10 anime before 2000 existed was. Top 10 anime before the year 2000. So he brought up Dragon Ball. And again, we love the GOATs. We just love anime in general, bro. When you really think about it, like anime is like one of those, it's been a life like habit of consuming for me. Like I've been watching anime since I had to be about 5 or 6. It started with like Pokemon, was watching Cardcaptor Sakura, was watching Digimon, then Dragon Ball, then when Naruto and Bleach came through, I had to
can I ask one more question?
What's up?
Is it shows or is it movies?
Shows.
I would love it.
You got about 30 seconds left.
Oh no!
you better make it quick. Are you writing them down? Or are you researching?
I'm just trying to make sure the years are right.
Gotcha. You got 25 seconds, Akil. 20 seconds. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8. And when I tell you to put it down, you put that phone down. 7, 6. And get the rope lick. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop it. Drop it.
I could only remember 6 or 7. I
could only remember 6 or 7. Okay. So what I'm going to do right now is, and you cannot touch that phone. Not want you touching that phone at all right now. From number 1, I don't think these are listed in any order, by the way, so no judgment from anybody. From number 1, I'm going to list you the top 10 that are on that list, and then you're going to confirm what you got right and what you got wrong.
Okay, wait. All right, okay.
You got it?
I'm adding one to my list, but in my head.
Okay. All right, number 1.
Okay.
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yep.
Number 2, Dragon Ball.
Yep.
Number 3, Rurouni Kenshin.
Fuck, I knew I wanted to, I didn't put it on my list. I was thinking of it, but I put it on my list.
Yeah. Number 4, Hunter x Hunter. Oh, the original. No! Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Number 5, Great Teacher Onizuka.
No.
Movies are in here. I messed up.
Oh no!
Number 6.
You see this, bro? That's crazy.
My bad. That's on me. Number 6. We'll put that in the clip though. Princess Mononoke. Number 7.
I would have had all of these.
Ghost in the Shell.
I would have had that.
Number 8. Cowboy Bebop.
Had that.
Number 9. My Neighbor Totoro.
I would have put that too.
Number 10. Mobile Suit Gundam Wing.
Oh my gosh, I would have had these.
You would have had Mobile Suit Gundam Wing?
No. I would have had Totoro. I would have had Princess Mononoke. I would have said Ghost in the Shell. I probably would have said, when did Spirit Away probably came out in the 2000s, so I probably wouldn't put that.
But all right, so what's on your list?
All right, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Inuyasha, Yu Yu Hakusho, Astro Boy, Cowboy Bebop, and Fist of the North Star.
Okay. So obviously some of those weren't on the list. How many of those weren't on my list? Sailor Moon wasn't on there.
Sailor Moon, Inuyasha, Astro Boy, Fist of the North Star. I think it was just those 4 because I had Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball.
All right, so you're gonna list it off one more time, and for each one that you got wrong that you're listing off, you're getting shot in the face. I'm sorry.
Fist of the North Star, Sailor Moon. Dragon Ball.
Why is it so fun, bro?
Inuyasha, Astro Boy, Cowboy Bebop. I said Cowboy Bebop. Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. You set me up. I asked him if it was movies. He said no movies.
So stop crying, bro.
Why you think I would ask?
Stop crying, bro.
That's tough. That's tough.
All right, y'all. We're gonna close out. That has been this podcast's episode. This is Keeping It 9000. Otaku with my Brotaku. Shonen with my
Bronin.
Anime conversations from a
NYCPO. I hate this guy.
Yo, it's been fun. As J. Cole has always said, thanks for keeping it 9,000 with us. We will always keep it 9,000 with y'all. Follow us on all the platforms: Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're there. And also join the Discord. Have conversations with us because we outside. We talking about anime. We don't always have to agree, but as long as we're having a conversation, it's a fun time for all of us. So let's get it. It's been Keeping It 9,000. We off this. Peace.
It's over 9,000!